Good afternoon to the commissioners and everyone in the audience. My name is Tifinie Capehart, and I'm with the Planning Department, and I work in the Community Plans Division. And your chairman, Rick Bernhardt, has asked all the staff members to provide updates on Nashville Next, and so I'm here today to talk about the Community Engagement Committee. And so the goals for today are just so you can get an understanding of the Community Engagement Committee. We'd like for you to understand their role and just want to review some successes and challenges that we've had along the way. And so at the beginning of the Nashville Next process, Rick Bernhardt gave us a charge to make sure that we did our best to engage the Nashville community in this process, because the success of this plan would depend on how well we engage the community. And so after that, we went forward and created three goals for the engagement process. So we want to make sure that we educate Nashvillians so they'll understand some of the major issues that we're facing over the next 25 years, and then also understand how to get better engaged in the process. We also want to engage members of the community so they'll know how to get involved in the process, but then also stay engaged and also encourage other members to get engaged as well. And we also want to empower people so that when this process is over and the plan is adopted, everyone knows how to use it and can hold decision makers accountable to what's in the plan that they helped to create. And so in my mind, the most important goal here is the engagement goal. And that brings us to the creation of the engagement committee. And so the Nashville Next Engagement Committee consists of about 40 people that represent different neighborhood and business groups, and also different demographics from all across Nashville. And so the committee helps us to reach out to those that are typically not heard in the planning process. They make sure that the process and its activities reflect all three goals of the engagement process. So all the participants you see here with their different icons. We also added a couple of members because we were seeing gaps in representation on the committee. And so we've added representatives from Belmont University and TSU to help us reach our college students. We've also added representatives from the Green Hills, Old Hickory, Whites Creek, and the Dickerson Pike and North Nashville area. And we also have a new representative from MTA who's also connected with our young professionals in the city. So this makes up our entire engagement committee. And so their primary roles are to provide access, help us with communications, engagement, and also advising the staff. We're also working with the PR consultant locally here, McNeely, Pickett, and Fox, and they're working as outreach consultants for us, and I'll talk a little bit more about them later. I have the old one here. Okay. So talking through how the engagement committee is playing out their role in the process, they're helping us provide access to hard to reach and underrepresented communities and demographics. So in this case, this is a Kurdish community festival held in Centennial Park, and the engagement committee members were instrumental in providing access to the Kurdish community, enabling our team to conduct video interviews during the Nashville Next visioning process. There are also other hard-to-reach community members that the engagement committee has helped us in reaching. They've helped us reach our young people, seniors, folks that are of non-English speaking populations, and also minorities and people of different faith backgrounds. And so just aside, the ladies that are in this photo here, I met them at a conference for Islamic women, and they were very uncomfortable about attending any civic processes. And once they heard about Nashville Next and how we were engaging folks, they felt more comfortable to attend. And so that would not have happened had we not had someone on our engagement committee to help provide access to that group. The engagement committee also assists us with communicating activities and issues to the public. So this photo here is a couple of our engagement members on Channel 5 Open Line, and they're talking about equity and inclusion. And so members have also been instrumental in helping us with communications about meetings and events throughout the process. The engagement committee members are also very engaged themselves, and this helps when they're encouraging other folks to remain engaged. And the photos here are of Mina Johnson from West Nashville, and then Denise Couch of Organized Neighbors of Edge Hill, and along with others, they participated in street teams last summer, which the teams were situated all across the county, and we did surveying, and it was one of our most successful engagement outreach events to date. And in terms of advising, the engagement committee, their primary role is to help advise us on how to best reach out to the Nashville community by identifying some key nuances that are particular to their different constituencies, and also how to just improve engagement activities as we move forward in the process. And so in terms of a benchmark, with a process like this, well, we've engaged almost more than 10,000 people so far. Imagine Austin, which is a planning process in Austin, Texas, and then the Portland plan engaged 14,000 and 17,000 people roughly. And just so you know, this type of process is not sexy and appealing to people, so we're kind of right on target where we should be in terms of engagement. These folks have, out of all these processes around this time frame, they've engaged roughly 3% of their population on average. So we're right on target where we need to be. Okay, and then walking through just some successes and challenges. This is not my updated PowerPoint, but I wanted to show you kind of where we are making some headway and where we still have some challenges. Very quickly, we are narrowing the gap in terms of reaching out to white and African Americans, but we still do have challenges in reaching our Hispanic, Latino, and Asian populations. We're also seeing where we're narrowing the gap in terms of reaching some of our baby boomers and our millennials. They're kind of two big population groups that we need to hear from in this process, so we feel really good about that. With regard to education, we're narrowing the gap between folks with higher level college degrees and then folks that only have some high school or some college education. We still want to do better with regard to reaching folks with associate's degrees or just some high school education, because we know that's not just young people, but that may be adults as well. So working on that. And then also another success has been housing tenure, reaching folks who rent and folks who own, and so we're closing those gaps. And so this is kind of what the engagement committee looks at when we're looking at engagement reports. Where are there gaps? What do we need to do differently to make sure that we're reaching everyone? So what's next for the CEC? We're actually prepping right now for the next phase of outreach, which is phase 4, which is the phase that everybody should be involved in because it will be the most important phase in this process. We'll be making some very tough decisions about the future. And the CEC has worked tirelessly through even some very external challenges, which include community apathy, process burnout, and then folks just not understanding planning and how it works necessarily. And so in our phase 4 outreach, we've heard their concerns and we've incorporated changes that will help address some of these issues. So for the audience, if you want to get engaged in Nashville Next, we do have an online conversation going on at talk.nashvillenext.net. And I was just looking at the information for it. We celebrated 1 year with talk.nashvillenext.net, so it's been on for about a year, so it's ongoing. We do have a tool called Book a Planner where you can contact the planning department and have a planner come and speak to your group. Meeting to Go is something that the public should look forward to in this next phase. The planning staff will provide you materials about Nashville Next, and you provide your input, and you can meet with your civic group or residential group or whatever on your own time, get that input, and then send it back to the planning staff. Right now, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Nashville Next. And then also, if folks don't have technology, then we also have a phone number where folks can call and leave us any comments. And so with that, this is John Stern from the Hermitage community, and I just want to say thank you, and I hope that you all are in the process. So thank you.
Thank you.